Thank you. Things have been going all right for me. My wife and I, we had a new baby back in October. So, thank you. He's a big kid, 98 percentile in height and 98 percentile in weight. So I'm 100% sure he's not mine. No, I know he's mine because we had him through IVF, in vitro fertilization. If you don't know what that is, that's when a doctor takes a fertilized egg and puts it inside you. And the first few times it did not work. And finally I was like, can you please do it to my wife? People are always curious, so I'll tell you guys. $50,000. That's how much IVF costs to have our son. And I love my son. But I also would love $50,000. He's gonna be my size, that's what they tell me. They tell me he's gonna level out. He's gonna be exactly like me. And I'll be honest, for $50,000, I expected more for my money. I think I got scammed. All my friends are comedians. When I told them I was having a baby, they're like, you're so lucky. You're gonna get so much material from your baby. And every morning when he wakes up, I'm like, what do you got for me? But it's always shit. He actually just started saying dada. Yeah, incredible. It's incredible hearing that word. Melts my heart. But everything's dada to him. A cup is dada. The sky, dada. I'm like, who's your favorite comedian? He's like, Sebastian Maniscalco. As a guy, we do nothing during the birth. All my wife wanted from me was just to be there. That's all she asked. And the hospital did this for me. They gave me the option of where I could sit. They're like, do you want to sit by your wife's head where you get a pretty good view of the baby coming out? Or do you want to sit by your wife's feet where you get a great view? I'm like, I want to sit in the waiting room. But I couldn't pick that. So I was like, all right, I'll go by her head. Next thing they did, they pulled in a stool for me to sit on. The stool had no back to it. And I sat on that stool for 8 hours while my wife was in labor. And I wanted to tell her how uncomfortable I was. But she was busy. We also have a 3-year-old. And I tell you, it's been a difficult adjustment for him. Because before, he used to get all of our attention. But now we have a new baby who we love way more than what's-his-face. Yeah, he was born during a very interesting time in this country. He was born during a very interesting time in this country. He was born on June 3rd, 2020. The height of Black Lives Matter. Yeah. A lot of racial tension was going on this time. A lot of civil unrest was happening. While that was all happening, I was in the delivery room. And all I could think was that if he comes out black, which would mean my wife cheated on me, I'm gonna have to act happy about it. I can't be upset, that'd be racist. So I was prepared in case. I'm like, all right, the doctor's gonna hand him to me. He's gonna know what went down. He's gonna be like, geez, this is not what you were expecting. And I was gonna be like, this is better than I was expecting. I can't wait to bring home little LeBron Vider. Trying to teach him stuff, trying to teach him colors. I wanted to be fun with it, so I was like, I'll do it with M&Ms. You know, he gets it right, he gets to eat one. You know, I showed him a red M&M. I'm like, what color is that? He's like, yellow. I know, that's not good. You know, I showed him a blue M&M. I'm like, what color is that? He's like, green. You know, this went on and on. He didn't get any right. Still gave him some M&Ms, though. I tell my wife, and she goes, I hope he's not colorblind. I'm like, let's hope he is colorblind. Because if not, we've got ourselves an idiot. You're told to cherish these times with your kids because it goes by fast. They grow up so fast, and they really do. And now as a parent, I see it. Both my boys already have hair in their balls. Yeah. I mean, I drew them on, but still. I was with them the other day, and I'm pushing the stroller along with the baby in it, and my 3-year-old, he's riding his tricycle. And coming towards us, walking in the opposite direction, was this woman. She was walking her pit bull, and her pit bull had on a tie. And I see them coming, so I just move my sons a little bit over, and this woman yells out, "What's your problem? Can't you see? He's a friendly pit bull. He has on a tie." I'm like, "Yeah, lady, I see that, but I'm not going to take that chance." You know? How would I explain that to my wife if our kids were mauled by that dog? You know? "Honey, I'm so sorry. I thought he was on his way to a business meeting. He was dressed for success, so..." My wife would have seen that pit bull coming a mile away. Maternal instincts. You know, mothers are truly incredible. She's on top of everything before it's ever a problem. She told me this. She's like, "I got this app. I want to be ready when our boys start using a computer." I'm like, "They're 9 months old and 3 years old. Do we need this?" She's like, "We need this." She's like, "This app will let us know any website they visit, even if they delete something in their search history." I'm like, "Do we need this?" She pushes a button, up pops up a bunch of adult sites, recently visited on her home computer. And my wife was mad, very mad. And I was like, "Let me talk to them." These kids are disgusting. My wife said to me, she goes, hypothetically, she likes to do those. She goes, hypothetically, if we had an intruder in our home, would you be able to protect our family? And I'm like, hypothetically, yes. I could do anything hypothetically. She's like, "Gary, it's very important for me to feel secure that you'd be able to protect us. What makes you think you could do it?" And I'm like, "I would have an adrenaline rush under that circumstance, and that would help me defeat the intruder." And she's like, "That makes me feel much better." Well, what I didn't tell her is that the intruder would also have an adrenaline rush. And his would be way better than mine. He'd kill us in seconds. Plus, I know my body. In that situation, it would not even pump adrenaline. It would pump estrogen. I'd be dealing with that. I get it. My wife, she wants a man who makes her feel safe. And that makes two of us. She has a fear of being taken. She saw that movie 20 years ago, and that's where this all comes from. I tell her, you have nothing to worry about. In 20 years, no one has ever made an attempt. And I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but she's not primed to be taken. I know her very well. She asks a lot of questions. She repeats herself. If that movie was about my wife, it'd be called We Can't Take Her Anymore. We've had it. Her new thing is she wants to get a gun. She's like, "Gary, we have to get a gun, but we have to put it in your name because my name would get flagged because of this bipolar medication I was on a couple years ago." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and flag that as well." I don't think that's in my best interest. I had a defender once, our entire relationship. We were walking through Times Square and some guy grabbed her ass. She turned to me and she goes, "Some guy just grabbed my ass." And first thing I said, I'm not proud I said this, I was like, "What do you want me to do about this?" And as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, that's not the right thing to say." And I could tell by her face it was not the right thing. I could tell she wanted me to do something. So what I did was there's a woman walking by, I grabbed her ass. I just figured it'd be like a pay it forward type deal. I've never been in a fight. I've been punched in my face. It was a mistake. The person who did it afterwards, he's like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else." He punched me in my face and then apologized. I apologized back. I'm like, "I'm sorry for looking like that guy." I wound up with a black eye. And when you get a black eye, you should look tough. Immediately, you should look tough if you get a black eye. It did not have that effect on me. I remember I was walking around with my wife with it. I thought people would see me and be like, that guy fought another guy. But with her by my side, they were like, I think she hits him. He stepped out of line. Crime is up places. Crime is up places. It's scary now. It's scary. I was in Central Park a couple of days ago. I'm sitting on a bench. Nice, beautiful day. All of a sudden, this baby started crying. And this mentally ill person yells, that baby better shut the fuck up. Then he looked directly at me and he goes, right? I looked at the baby, I'm like, you better shut the fuck up. You got a problem on her hands, baby. But, yeah. I'm too short to be tough. I'm a short guy. Any other short guys here? Make some noise. All right. Thanks for coming out, little buddies. I appreciate it. We're living in a tall man's world, right? People love a tall man. That's what it's about. That's where it's at. Short guys, we had our moment in the sun, 2022. They gave us short kings. Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. It's insulting. I want something good. Women have big is beautiful. That's great that we say that, right? We don't believe it, but we say it. I think that's nice. How about small is sexy for guys? See, no support. This is what I'm talking about. We have plus size models for women. How about minus size for the fellas? You guys don't care. Nobody cares. Starbucks, they care. When I walk in there, smalls are tall, and I appreciate that. That's just good business. There's a lot expected of guys. Guys are supposed to work out. I don't want to work out. There's a strong man competition. I say there should be a weak man competition. Iron Man, how about an iron deficient man as well? And my point in all this is that guys get body shamed. We do. Guys get body shamed if we're short, or if we're bald, or if we have a small penis. And some guys out there get body shamed for all three. It's got to be a horrible life for whoever that guy is. I'm sure he's really talented, though. I believe in God. I do. I took about 30 years off, but now I'm back. This is why I believe in God. I just want there to be someone when my life is over to complain to about the life I had. That's why I do it. I want some upper management. I go up there, God's gonna be like, time to talk about your sins, and I'm gonna be like, I have some notes for you, pal. What was that? I'll definitely mention like the fact that I'm bald. You know, I'll be like, well, you couldn't just give me hair. That would have been a nice one. But 3 years ago, I had hair. Yeah, I had hair 3 years ago. I'm not saying it was a great amount, but it was an amount where my friends were still positive. I tell them I'm going bald. They're like, you're not going bald. I'm like, are you sure? My dad's bald. And they'd be like, just because your dad's bald doesn't mean you'll be bald. It runs on your mom's side. I'm like, she's bald too. You'd think by now they would have a cure for being bald. Best option out there right now, you could take a pill, but a side effect of the pill is it could cause you to not be able to get an erection. And I don't want to risk that in case my wife and I ever, get a divorce. They tested that pill on animals first. That's pretty messed up. I just imagine there's some bald, limp-dick monkey walking around the jungle all depressed. Like, fuck. My dick doesn't work. There are 2 stages of being bald. First stage, denial. Second stage, acceptance. That's where I'm at. I've accepted it. And when you accept it, you shave your head. That's what I did. And I'll never forget That first day I shaved my head. It was on the day they stormed the Capitol. I wasn't trying to be a part of it or anything. I shaved my head, then I turned on the TV and I was like, I probably should have waited. You gotta keep up with current events. I try and have fun with this look. I try, as much as possible. I was walking around this town. It's right outside New York City. It's called Mamaroneck. And I'm walking around, and I saw a barbershop. And the name of this barbershop was Gary's Barbershop. And I'm like, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna ask them if they have any t-shirts. You know, Gary's Barbershop, I'm bald. This could be big. So I walk in, there's one barber, he's cutting somebody's hair, and I ask him, I'm like, do you have t-shirts? And he goes, huh? And I go, do you sell t-shirts? And he goes, what? And in my head, I'm like, am I saying it weird? And then I'm like, my name's Gary. Do you have any t-shirts that say Gary's Barbershop? And he was like, do you have a barbershop? I couldn't believe how quickly this went off the rails. I didn't know how to explain it any clearer. I was like, I'd wear the t-shirt as a style. It would be a cool look. Finally, he got it. He was like, we don't carry t-shirts. We never have. We never will. No one has ever asked me this before. There's no need for them. Nobody would wear them. That's what he said to me. And I walked out of there. I felt worse than when I walked in. And about an hour went by. I called up the place. I didn't change my voice at all. I was like, hi, do you have t-shirts? He's like, are you the guy who was in here an hour ago? I'm like, no. He's like, somebody who was just in here trying to buy Gary's Barbershop t-shirts. I'm like, I guess there's a pretty high demand. Stock up, buddy. All right. I like a good t-shirt. I do. I saw a guy with a t-shirt, said, my wife is my superhero. I was like, that guy's definitely cheating on his wife. How else would he wear that? Trying to be healthy. Trying. It's hard. You know, I'm on the road all the time. I was in Dallas, Texas. I check into my hotel. I asked the guy at the front desk, I'm like, how's that sushi restaurant in the hotel? And he goes, I can't say if it's good or bad, because out of respect for my grandfather who fought in World War II, I don't touch the stuff. You guys know history, right? You remember World War II, where apparently we were attacked by a spicy salmon roll? So, this guy made a lot of sense. I was hungry, though. I'm like, can you recommend something instead? He goes, yeah, try the Italian restaurant across the street. I'm like, you know we fought Italy in World War II also, right? He's like, that's how good their lasagna is. But yeah, I'm in hotels all the time. It's bad. Quality of hotels has gone down. I was in Richmond, Virginia. I check into my room. I'm in my room for a couple hours, settled in. All of a sudden, the door swings open, and a family walks right into my room. The front desk gave out my key to a family that checked in. Right after they left, I immediately got a call from management. They're like, we are so sorry this happened. Please let us know what we could do to rectify the situation. And I was like, what you could do is tell that family that walked in here never to speak of what they saw going on. I was attending to a private matter. But Richmond, Virginia, that's where it went down. Yeah, not much to do in Richmond. They used to have a lot of statues, but now they're not there anymore. They got rid of them. Right where my hotel was, that's where they used to have the Robert E. Lee statue. It used to be him on his horse, and they got rid of it. I saw where that was. Now it's just nothing. And And I thought about this as I was staring at nothing. I was like, they didn't need to get rid of the horse part. Right? They could have kept the horse. I'm sure the horse was a good horse. Guilty by association, I guess. Must have been tough being that guy's horse back in the day. Oh, you're Robert E. Lee's horse. You're a racist. He's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, you are. You are. You say the N-word. He's like, I say nay. It's my favorite word. Yeah, I saw this on the news. They did a survey at a Pittsburgh high school, and they asked the students what gender they identify as. They want to make it easier for the teachers in class so they wouldn't say the wrong pronoun. And the options on the survey were a boy, a girl, a trans boy, trans girl, gender queer, non-binary, or another identity. And that's the one that scared me. Another identity. Guys, there's something out there we don't even know about. Keep your eyes peeled. This stuff is tricky. Like, you don't want to say the wrong thing ever. I was at Enterprise. I was picking up a rental car. The car rental agent helping me was transgender. Now, I haven't been around many transgender people, but I do know the right thing to say when you're around one. You say they. That's the polite thing. So I walked in. They put my name in the computer and go, I have wonderful news for you. You're going to get upgraded from a compact car to a full-size car at no charge. And I was like, thank you very much, they. They go, no problem. I always take care of one of my own. They thought this was that. So I said, I can't take this upgrade. I don't deserve it. I'm not a transgender person like you. I'm not one of your own. And they go, no, what I was referring to by one of my own is that you're an Enterprise Plus member. And they go, wait, you think I'm transgender? So we decided I should rent from Avis. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I've been reading more. Things you read shouldn't cause you anxiety, but I read an article that said that Apple and Google track us. Do you guys know that? Yeah, people knew that. I didn't know that. I was talking to my Alexa about it. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. But I don't care. I got everything Apple. You know, I love my iPhone. I do. I heard that. I'm excited for the new iPhone. I heard on the new one, you're going to be able to change your emergency alert settings. So instead of annoying beeping noise whenever there's an emergency, you could have your phone play music instead. That's pretty cool. I got my songs ready to go. Flash Flood, Surfin' USA, Beach Boys. Tornado, Wind Beneath My Wings, Bette Midler. Amber Alerts, R. Kelly. He's got a lot of hits, so you can mix that up, you know? But anyway. I think that's the coolest thing about the phones. You get those Amber Alerts, right? You just get them to your phone, and then you just put your phone back in your pocket like it didn't happen. Just go on with your life. What? I don't know why we get them. I've never stopped one. I've never been out with a friend. He's like, you want to get dinner? I'm like, I can't. I'm looking for a white sedan. Just got the case. There's a reason. There's a reason why we get it. Because it's more effective than the old way, the former way. Do you guys remember that, how we used to know about missing children? Milk cartons, that's right. That was the 80s. You'd just be enjoying your cereal and be like, wow, that kid's dead. Yeah. Breakfast was weird in the 80s. Yeah, you'd be like, it's ironic, the milk is expired and so is he. Yeah. Could be worse, right? It's a good expression. Really picks people up when they're down. That's what I noticed. It was taught to me recently. Yeah, I didn't know about it. I was out with my friend, we're walking along. I'm like, it's hot outside. He goes, it could be worse. It could be really hot outside. Put things in perspective. I'm glad he taught me that. Because later that evening, I was with another friend, and he told me that he was hypnotized recently. And while he was under hypnosis, he discovered that he was touched by his uncle. I was like, it could be worse. It could be really hot outside. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but it's harder to make plans with friends. There's always something that comes up. I was supposed to see a movie with my buddy, and he canceled on me. He goes, I have horrible diarrhea. That was his reason of why he can't go, because he had horrible diarrhea. I thought about it. He didn't need to say horrible. It's diarrhea. There's one version. It's always not good. I watch most of my movies when I'm flying. Last movie I saw was the movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's called She Said. It's about the sexual abuse allegations against Harvey Weinstein. It's a very sad movie. I felt terrible for all the victims, the women, and the guy who got cast as Harvey Weinstein. That's an unfortunate looking man. I wonder what it was like for his agent to call him up and tell him he got the role. You know? Hey, so I got something for you. And he's like, oh, thank God, you know, it's been so hard to find work. People think I look too much like Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna need you to sit down for this. You'll be playing Harvey Weinstein. But the good news is it pays a lot. And if more women come forward, there's a chance for a sequel. But I fly all the time. Things freak me out when I fly. You know? And I saw this on the news. It didn't help my fear. It was talking about Al-Qaeda and how they're trying to find creative ways to get bombs on airplanes. And one of those ways is they're practicing magic now. They're trying to become magicians. That's how they'll get a bomb on an airplane, sleight of hand. I'm always flying. I gotta be on the lookout for that. You know, I'll be on the plane, I'll see some guy with a top hat. I'll be like, there better be a fucking rabbit in there. It's not. It's a bomb. He's like, ta-da. No, he's a terrorist, so he'd be like, Allah. Relax, guys, I got this. But the last trip I took, I went to Las Vegas. And I was with a group of guys. They're all strip club guys. In all honesty, I'm not a strip club guy. I don't want to go. All the strippers want is your money. They just want you to open up your wallet. And they want to go. So right when we walk in, the stripper comes up to me and she goes, I'll show you the best night of your life. That was her line. I'm like, the best night of my life? Better than my wedding day? Better than the birth of my children? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, sounds good to me. They are convincing. But yeah. The other day I was home and I said to my wife, I'm gonna go out for a walk. And she's like, oh, that seems nice. I'll come along with you. And I was like, damn it. But she wanted to come. So we go out for the walk and while we're out walking, she accuses me of checking out another woman. I don't know about any of you, but when I walk, I need to see where I'm going. And I was just seeing where I was going. And I saw that I want to go home with that other woman. It seemed better. Afterwards, she said to me, it doesn't bother me that you check out other women. It bothers me that you're obvious when you do it. Be more discreet. So now I hide in bushes wearing camouflage. Out of respect. I go home after the show, and we're When I go home, she'll be there. She's there a lot. She is. Here's the thing. The most important thing about having a wife is you got to give her attention. That's it. Because if you don't, she's going to seek that attention from somebody else. And man, that'd be great if someone else could chip in. She is time consuming. Having a wife, it's difficult. She says things, that's the tough part for me. The other morning, we woke up. First thing she says, "Can you believe it's about to be August?" That was her opener. And she didn't mean it rhetorically. She was looking at me like she wanted to talk about it. How do I respond? I'm like, it's been coming up after July for a while. I was expecting it. I'm surprised it caught you off guard. We're doing good. We're making progress. We got in a fight actually today, and this is the first time ever I won the fight. Thank you. I punched her in her face, and I went old school with it. We had our problems. We almost got divorced a couple years ago, and we went to marriage counseling. You all probably could have guessed that by some of these jokes, but yeah, we went to marriage counseling, and it saved us. It saved our entire marriage. I don't recommend it. I was almost out. In the early goings, we had to see our therapist one-on-one. And during my one-on-one session, he told me that I suffer from marriage PTSD. I didn't know that, but you could get PTSD for marriage. And he goes, you could join a support group for that. But I'm not gonna do that, yeah. You can't show up to a PTSD support group with marriage PTSD. I just imagine they're going around like, what brings you here? And the guy next to me goes, 2 tours in Iraq. And I'm like, I feel you, 10 years with Allie. Yeah. He'll be like, that's not the same. I saw people die in front of my eyes. I'm like, I die a little bit each day. Anyway, but we don't go to marriage counseling anymore. And it's not because we're fixed. We found out our therapist is divorced. Yeah, I found out in therapy. I'm like, oh, so you're happily married? He goes, actually, I'm divorced. I hope that doesn't change anything. I'm like, that changes everything. I just grabbed my wife. I'm like, let's get off this guy's couch. She sleeps on it. Thank you. Thank you very much. But, yeah, we're doing all right now, I think. You know, we talk before bed. She likes to do that. Before bed the other night, she's like, I want you to know I tell you 100% the truth. I'm like, I want you to know I tell you 100% the truth. And that was a lie. Because you have to lie about a couple of things. This is something I lied about recently. We were walking to our car. I was the last one to use it. And as we were walking to it, I realized I left it on. Keys were in the ignition. Engine was still running from the day before. It's not something I want her to know I did. She'll hold that against me forever. And as we're walking her, she's like, is our car on right now? And I was like, yeah, it is, because our car, it picks up on your body heat and could just start up. And she's like, our car can do that? I'm like, yeah, our 2008 Ford Fiesta can do anything it puts its mind to. You guys are a good crowd, man. I appreciate this. I really do. And thank you. You know, I mean, I made a whole bunch of jokes about my wife, but she truly is like my #1 supporter, so I appreciate it. I couldn't do this without her. I need her, yeah. And I tell you, yeah, nobody cares. But I'm just saying, so I have that recorded. But I don't mean it. You think I need her? No. She means nothing to me. No, I'm kidding. That was just mean right there. That slipped out, but I did get recognized recently. I was picking up a takeout order. The girl behind the counter goes, "You're a stand-up comedian." I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I saw you perform before. It wasn't good." Still counts, though. Yeah. So I'm waiting for her to get me my order, and she starts asking me questions, very condescending questions. She goes, "Oh, so you do this for a living?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, this is how you make your money?" I'm like, "Yeah." Finally, my order comes out, and I have an opportunity on the credit card receipt to leave a tip. And I decide to leave her $20 on that credit card receipt, just to show her I could throw that kind of cash around. And she was floored. She's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't think that you were gonna give me anything. I didn't think that you could." And I was like, this is nothing to me, okay? This is just $20 means nothing. Then when I got home, I called Visa and canceled the transaction. Guys, I'm struggling, but yeah, I've had a lot of tough gigs. I've had a lot of tough gigs. I did a show at a church recently. Yeah, my agent got me the gig. I didn't want to do the gig. He goes, "Take the gig. You never know who's going to be in the crowd." He was right. Jesus was there that night. Did not go well. This is going way better. They didn't set it up for success. They put the stage right in front of Jesus. Yeah. Try concentrating when the only other Jew besides you is hanging up in the rafters. But I even did a show for my people. I did a show for a bunch of Jews at a temple. You would think that would go better. The truth is, religious crowds, they're just not good comedy audiences. After the show, the rabbi for the temple comes up to me and he goes, "I found some of your jokes not suitable for a congregation." I was like, "What's a joke that sticks out to you?" He goes, "The joke I had a problem with is the one where you say you have a small manhood." I'm like, "The joke where I say I have a small penis you had a problem with?" He goes, "Yeah, that's the one I had a problem with." I'm like, "How do you think I feel about it?" But no, before I get out of here, I want to say I do really appreciate you guys coming out, and thank you so much, because it's not easy to get up here and do shows, and it's tough. It's a tough career. And before I get out of here, I want to share this with you guys. I was doing a show in Connecticut, and right before I'm about to hit the stage, I get this letter. It's from an audience member that's in attendance of the show that night, and it was passed to me by the club manager. It says, "Gary, I'll try to be brief. About 1 year ago, I had a long recovery from cancer. Fully healed, and while spending way too much time on social media, I discovered you. Thanks for the laughs. Looking forward to seeing you perform." So, for every tough gig, every gig at a church, every gig at a temple, and all the other ones I've done, getting something like this is why I do it. It means a lot that I could lift somebody up when they're down and give them a couple extra laughs. But yeah, whatever. And then I went out and I did the show, not knowing who in the audience sent me this letter. And sure enough, when I finished, he was waiting for me. And he told me that after seeing me perform live, he felt that the cancer had returned. I was like, it could be worse. It could be really hot outside. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you. We all know I fucked up. You guys were here for that. But so I don't know. Is there anything I should repeat? I saw a thing on the news. It said that I saw a thing on the news. They were doing a survey at a Pittsburgh high school. Let me start up. We'll do a pickup. That's good. Little behind the scenes right there. It's not all perfect. You guys are like, what? Everybody just leaves. I blow my brains out. All right, we're going too far. We're going too far. All right, thanks. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Space out that applause, though. I need it. Who here remembers the old way how we knew about missing children? Milk cartons, that's right. That was the 80s. Oh, you fucked up, buddy. Dropped a glass. We'll do that again. What? We were at the beginning anyway. No, it's all right. Don't ever let that happen again. So now you fucked me up, and now... All right, okay. All right, we'll take it from the top, or this guy needs to get escorted out. No, he's good. He's great. He's doing fine. Yeah, so... Yeah, I gotta remember it. This is... No, I know that. I'm not like, where am I right now? Holy shit. I'm in a suit. Hey, I know exactly the thing. I'm just trying to remember where it starts. You don't happen to know that, do you? That would be pretty fucking helpful. Yeah, now you're just saying stuff. But yeah, I remember the old. Do you guys remember the old way? I'll tell you why we get them. Do you remember the old way? How we knew about missing children? Milk cartons. That's right. That's right. You guys are smart. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the old way was milk cartons. Yeah.